Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Not Too Comic Book. This being a show where I talk about TV shows that are adaptations of comic books. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the series premiere of The Summer Hikaru Died. Great series premiere. A lot of really interesting things went down in this episode, so let's break it down. So, I'm going into this series partially blind. I've never read the manga, but I did watch a trailer a while back, and then I read like the synopsis of it on Wikipedia. It's only like a tiny synopsis, so it wasn't like a lot. Pretty much everything we found out in this first episode is kind of is all I really know about the show. But obviously, Hikaru was in the mountains, and obviously there was a search party to look for him, and sadly he died on the mountain alone. And whatever this thing is, the name that got thrown around this episode was like Nonuki. I don't know what it is. Even it kind of doesn't even know what it is. But it possessed Hikaru's body. It was like in January 2020. I think it's interesting that this isn't set present day. And I'm curious. Okay, so I looked it up because I was curious. I was like, could it be that's the date that the manga's probably set in 2020, but it was like started being published in 2021, August of 2021. So I wonder if there was some correlation of like maybe it's like while the mangaka was writing it, they set it initially in like 2020, so maybe that's why. Or maybe there's going to be some time jumps around. That's why it's set a couple years in the past rather than like present day. But I mean, is it that big of a deal? Not really, but I'm just curious. Why not just even for the anime adaptation, like why not set it closer to present day? I don't know. Like I said, there might be like story reasons why they did that. Maybe it's significant, maybe it's not. The only date that's significant is to know that this thing was pretending to be Hikaru for 6 months, because it's July now. I wasn't expecting that, because I was like, oh, I didn't think about it. Once again, the story's The Summer Hikaru Died. It's like, well, it's the summer because that's when Yoshiki figured out, because he's known like ever since January, like ever since they found Hikaru, because he was gone for like a week. And it's like ever since he came back, it's like you've been off and different, not getting certain words right. It's like you got to work on your pronunciation of the word torture. And it's like, hey, he's like, I got a question for you. I know it's going to sound strange, but you're not Hikaru, are you? And the thing's like, I thought I copied it so perfectly. It's like, please don't tell anybody. I for the first time, I'm getting to live as a human being, and I don't want to have to kill you. Because this thing is like, I want to keep this secret, and the more people that know, the bigger an issue. And I'm wondering, is it specifically doing that because it's being hunted? Or why go through the trouble of be like, oh, don't tell anyone, or I'll like have to kill you? Like it's a self-preservation tactic, but I'm curious like how much, even though this thing seems so unaware of its own existence, or like how it really came to be inside of Hikaru, and once again doesn't even really know what it is. But Yoshiki is willing to keep this secret because for him, it's like, it's this really heartbreaking reality where it's like, hey, this person you care about is dead. They are gone, but there's something around pretending to be them. It's like, I will rather like pretend and lie to myself that you're Hikaru if it means keeping you by my side. And it's just like, Jesus, that's dark, you know? And this is something I brought up during my watch list when I was referencing the show, but I'm like, I don't know if there's like the relationship between Yoshiki and Hikaru, whether it's just platonic friendship or whether there's a romantic angle there. Because the conversation comes up later on, is like, do you like me? And it's like, the thing is like, Hikaru is like, I like you a lot. And it's like, for Yoshiki, it's like, he's never said that. And he's like, good, then stay by my side and never leave, as tears are pouring down his face. Because, like, it seemed like Hikaru would constantly joke with him, like, oh, you'll go off and get a girlfriend. He's like, no, that's not going to happen. And he jokes, like, oh, are you secretly loving me? Do you really like me? And I'm like, I think he probably did, and he didn't know how to really broach the subject. And now it's that situation of, now it's kind of this complicated thing of, hey, this thing pretending to Hikaru is kind of telling me what I want to hear, because I would have probably never heard that from Hikaru. Even if he did feel that way, he never expressed it, and sadly I will never fully know, because this thing knows what Hikaru knew. It has all his memories. It even says like, I can remember all these memories and everything, the experiences precisely, but the actual experience itself I don't remember. So maybe it knows what Hikaru knew. Did it feel what Hikaru felt? Or is this thing like, no, I like you because I just like you, because you're so nice to me, you're so good to me. But even like Yoshiki being like, I'm not like a good person. I'm just like, no, he's like, I'm a nice person. It's just like I'm too good to people and to myself. And I'm wondering what that was, because even Hikaru is like, I don't quite get that, but it's like, right, I still think you're nice, so I think that's kind of all that matters. But I'm like, what does that mean necessarily? Like, I'm too good to people and myself. I guess for him, it's like I don't know if you can interpret that as like Yoshiki being like, I'm a people pleaser, that I'm like, I'm willing to kind of like do whatever for people because, or maybe he's like, I'm not as harsh on myself as I should be. I don't know if that stems from his family life, which seems complicated. His sister's not going to school for whatever reason. His parents are arguing about like, mom feels like, yo, you're just because you're the breadwinner doesn't really give you, like, you don't really like look after our kids like you're supposed to. So I'm like, because Yoshiki has a weird relationship with his dad because his dad was asking him a question about like, waking his sister Karu up, and then like Yoshiki just kept eating breakfast and then left when Hikaru got there, and I'm like, what is that about? Because the entire episode is pretty much like the majority of the episode is like basically the next day after he found out this thing isn't Hikaru. He's had to like process and deal with all that for like 24 hours. Hell, even that dream where he's like, yo, my last memory of him was him doing an impression of Mr. Hara. And it's like, he's kind of like, how jacked up is that? Because Hikaru told him he was going up into the mountains, but he never told him why. And I'm curious if that has something to do with some of this like mysterious stuff that's going on in town, because there's this woman while they were like driving by who acted a certain way when Hikaru went by, and I was like, I was like, did you know, like, were you in the mountains? Did you know that he died? Or is it a situation of, can you sense the Nanuki inside of him, whatever it is? I'm not quite sure what to make of that, because there's a lady they run into later, was it Matsura? This old lady who's like, oh my god, it's Nanuki, he's come down from the mountain. She can immediately sense the thing inside of Hikaru, and she goes inside scared. So Yoshiki is trying to ignore all that. He's like, yeah, let's get away from all that creepy stuff. But it's like, well, no, you should pay attention to that. But he's in denial. It's like, I don't want to know anything. I'm not going to ask any questions even though he does, because he asks like, yo, is Hikaru dead? He's like, yes, his heart is beating and he's got a pulse. But in all intents and purposes, Hikaru is dead. Kind of like whether it's, they didn't really get into it, but I guess whatever extension of what you might believe to be a soul is gone, or his consciousness is gone, all that's here is me. He's like, well, did you? He's like, no, I didn't kill him. He was already at death's door. I stumbled across his body just as he was about to die, and I just ended up inside of his body. I don't know how, don't really know where. I don't know if the thing like doesn't really know where it's from, or is it keeping a lot of secrets from Yoshiki. But then there's like little moments of it, enjoying its humanness, or it's like, oh, we're singing in a choir, trying to understand the lyrics. They're watching a movie in class, and it's breaking down crying because, yes, Hikaru watched it 5 times, but I'm experiencing it for the first time. I'm experiencing this thing that I've eaten so many times. Well, Hikaru's eaten multiple times. I'm experiencing it for the first time. It's so delicious. It's so good. The thing seems to have no reservation about acknowledging I'm not Hikaru. But to be fair, it's only able to openly talk to Yoshiki, and I think that makes it feel better. Where it's like, hey, it's kind of like this little secret between us. I mean, granted, this secret will literally kill you if you tell someone else, but it's still like, hey, this is something we can have. Because in its head too, it's like, well, Yoshiki seems perfectly fine. It's like, oh yeah, it sucks that Hikaru died, but hey, technically I'm here and he accepts me as me. But it's like, well, how's this thing going to feel when it realizes like, oh, you're only keeping me around because you don't like me. You like Hikaru, but you don't like me. And this thing feels like it could get and be the jealous type of like, oh, you don't like me for me. You only like me because I'm in Hikaru's body. Or will this thing be super accepting of it? I don't know. It's the first episode, so we have no idea how this thing will react to certain things. Hell, Yoshiki's having like a literal breakdown inside of his head, but he's not letting this thing know because he's just like, holy shit, like, I'm scared. Hikaru's dead, and it's like, what does this mean? But I don't want you to leave my side. It's like, that, it's all kinds of jacked up, complicated feelings. We also got introduced to another angle to the plot where we have Tanaka? This guy shows up, he busts into this house, and there's this creature that's in a closet, and he starts beating at it. And like, I don't know if it's like a demon or whatever it is. I'm wondering, did that couple know what it was? Because I think that thing wasn't it saying like mommy or something? I don't know if were they hiding this thing, or did they not know it was there, or were they kind of forced to hide it? Cause we got some of Yoshiki's family stuff, but we haven't gotten anything on Hikaru. Like, how does his family react to him? Like, are they fooled by him? There was like one girl at this school who kind of was looking at Hikaru like a couple of times, and I'm like, is she picking up on something? Is she sensing something? Like, I don't know. But going back to the Tanaka guy, he apparently works for some company that it seems like they're hunting the thing that's inside of Hikaru, but he said like whatever this thing is, it's not even a sliver of what we're looking for. So it's not like a fraction pulled off. It's its own thing, but maybe it has nothing to do with the thing that's inside of Hikaru. Maybe there's similar constitutions, but that entity's its own thing, just like the thing inside of Hikaru is its own thing. It's like they might be like maybe like the term used for the thing inside of Hikaru that I saw online specifically on the synopsis, it's like an eldritch being. So I'm like, can't really make heads or tails of like what that means in the context of this story, of like what this thing is. Is it like an ancient demon? Is it a bad thing? Seems like it is, considering what happens to Matsura at the end of the episode. Especially like when the form it came, it looks like, I don't know what you describe it as. There's certain aspects of it's a weird reference to me. It kind of gives me Killer 7 vibes of some of its design, specifically when it came to Matsura and was like all reddish like that. It's like, let me in, I got a delivery. It's like, I'm not stupid, like I know you don't have the delivery for me. Because when you first meet Matsura, it seems like her eyes are gone. I don't know if like her eyes were at least like colored blonde, like black, like she might have been missing her eyeballs or she's blind. But then later on in the episode, you see her eyes and they seem like bloodshot red. So I'm like, I don't know if it's a thing of she actually is blind or what. But then like I love the like that scary twist and just like, oh no, I'm already inside, and then it apparently killed her. Because it definitely shifted over to Hikaru's voice. So it's not like this is something else that did it. It's like, no, specifically the thing in Hikaru Nonuki killed her. Because and then at her death scene, there were other people gathered around like, oh, whatever ritual they performed didn't work. So I don't know if it has something to do with like, was Hikaru some ritualistic sacrifice? Was him being up in the mountains, was it related to this? Like they told him to go up there and maybe they lied about the reasons why. Or maybe he is in the know about what they were up to and he just didn't want to worry Yoshiki about it, but it all went wrong. And now this thing is down from the mountains in Hikaru's body, killing anyone that has any involvement or just knows its secret. Because I don't know if it knows for sure that Matsura had anything to do with it, but maybe it's a thing of, yo, if you can sense me, it means you had something to do with all of this. So there's at least 3 other people that are planning on this thing will potentially end up killing. And then we get the ending where Tanaka gets a call to head to this village, but he's like, yeah, they don't know what they've got, to deal with. Because it's interesting because like 2 or 3 of the people, we see a photograph of them like communicating. So I guess this company or whatever, whoever they are, already had an eye on them for investigation purposes. Like someone had, or maybe that's like a newsletter or whatever from back when they were looking for Hikaru. Maybe that's what that in correlation to connection with, but don't fully know where this is all going. Like I said, I think Tanaka and them are hunting demons, but I don't know if like they're just demon hunters by nature, because he talks about the company having been around a long time, and he's like, you'd think they'd learn a thing or two after being around as long as they have. But whoever he was talking to earlier in the episode was like, yeah, don't badmouth the company, just shut up and like kind of do what you need to. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it, I always take my job seriously. So, and he has like a mark on his neck, so I don't know if it's like, oh, if that's from encounter he had with a creature, or is he secretly one of these creatures too, because that was, once again, slight spoiler, but my understanding from the synopsis, to be fair, it was a little while ago I read it, so I could be misremembering, but I do believe they're like demon hunters and other eldritch like creatures hunting him down too. So this company thing might be like, maybe it's humans hunting down monsters, maybe it's other monsters hunting down this thing for whatever reason, and there's all the people in the village who've got something they're up to as well. I'm interested to see where all this goes. I have no idea what to expect. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it was a teaser trailer. So like I said, everything from that and the synopsis I learned. I mean, specifically the teaser trailer was just kind of like the whole like, you're not Hikaru, are you? And then like the synopsis of like some idea of what's going on. But even then, it's like I said, I have no idea what to fully expect from this. But I'm excited to find out where it all goes. But really, that's all I wanted to talk about. Till the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.